Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Great RPG Bakeoff. I'm your host, Abacus, and despite the toaster incident earlier, we still have two able-bodied contestants competing to make the greatest fantasy adventure game ever. With things heating up, who's gonna get smoked? Let's meet our contestants. Our first contestant hails from Oregon and brings a unique blend of locally sourced ingredients. What sort of game are you making for us today, James?
Well, Abacus, as you know, sometimes it can be hard to find a GM to run any game. So I'm making this one with a modular rule set that allows game masters to just dive right in before having fully mastered the system. This is going to make it a lot easier to find and develop new GMs.
So in keeping with our baking premise, you're making your rules easily digestible?
Please don't eat my game.
Ha! We'll see if the judges are inclined to take that advice. And on to our next contestant, Hummus from sunny north of California. What are you cooking for us today, Hummus?
Hola, mi amigos! Today I'm making a casserole of mechanics designed for the wacky shenanigans of the average play group. Later, I'll be mixing in a world more prepared for the heroic hijinks than the average fantasy realm. This should promote a sense of fun while allowing the game master to keep a consistent story.
Sounds like some lighter fare. But what's with these extra ingredients? They don't seem to be in line with the lighthearted comedic tone of the dish.
Ah, you've noticed my impending doom spice. I find that too much comedy can be tiresome on the taste buds. So I'm adding a few serious conflicts to give the players a grounded sense of stakes to fall back on.
An interesting strategy indeed. Let's go back to James and see what kind of progress he's made. Hey James, how's the cooking going? That dish is looking aggressive.
Again, please do not eat this game. These figures, they're plastic. But as to what I'm doing, I'm putting together a combat system for the game that's quick and easy to play, but still allows the players to make meaningful tactical choices.
Looks like you're spilling a little Settlers of Catan in there.
Not by accident. The game features a build-up mechanism whereby players use random dice rolls influenced by how they built their character to generate resources that can be used to fuel their offensive and defensive capabilities. This averts the problem with first-round rocket tag that a lot of role-playing games degenerate into, as the players just use their best abilities right off the bat, trying to wipe the opponents off the board before anything interesting happens. Still, it maintains these devastating displays of martial mayhem that we've come to know and love in our role-playing games.
And is that scone-based movement I see?
Zone-based. This is actually breakfast. But zone-based tactical maps provide the opportunity to be creative with how the tactics of the combat are going to work, allowing players to move around without having to count out specific distances. Not that maps are required, mind you. Game masters that want to keep the tactical aspect and play with the theater of the mind can easily put together a simple list of places in an area, call each a zone, and let players use the movement mechanics to dance through them during combat.
Alright, let's have one last check-in with Hummus before the contestants plate the dishes. Looks like you're finishing up, but I noticed you including fewer dice than I'm used to seeing.
Indeed. To keep things moving, the results of a player action is typically determined with a single dice roll. In fact, during combat, the GM hardly rolls dice at all. Instead, the results of monster actions are determined by player defense rolls. This allows the game master to just move a bunch of monsters all at once, take a bunch of actions, and then ask the players how they turned out. This avoids the typical bog down on the game master's turn. And, oh, Atticus, don't lean on that. That is not stable. Oh no! There's a thoughtful tactical combat system in my smooth, easy to master game mechanics. Oh no! There's a hijinks-themed humorous element in my traditional struggle of good versus evil.
Another unavoidable disaster, it seems. But the show must go on. Let's gather this up and present it to the judges. And what do our judges think? Is it good enough to win your favor for our Kickstarter project? Come, show your support for this innovative new game at the link below. Launching in December with a projected publish date of February. Reserve your copy and get all sorts of Kickstarter-only hijinks now.